Alright guys, what's good? It's your dude Darryl K. Got a big group with me today. I'm about to talk some real stuff right here, y'all. Marvel vs. DC and the media. This is a topic that everybody gets a little emotional and passionate about. You see the looks in our face. I'm anxious. Let's do
talk
it.
about steel. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, conversation over. If we're gonna throw out a bad DC, let's talk about Howard the Duck.
No, actually, let's talk about Elektra. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how these villains come out in the coolest ways and the coolest intros, and then they die like in a minute and a half.
You mean all of Ghost Rider 1? You can't stop me, I'm the winner! But no.
You know what Batman would have to say about that?
To the box office. Anyway, now look. I'm gonna try not to make this a total Marvel or DC bash. Because, honest to God, I'm one of those guys who's seen every Marvel movie in the theaters since 1998. That means I saw each Blade. I've seen Elektra. I paid to see the first Hulk movie. I've done some stupid things in my life. Smartly enough, I didn't pay to see Jonah Hex. But,
what a good decision that was.
Oh my god, it's such a devastating decision.
Oh my goodness. Marvel definitely started the curve for the 2000s. A lot of people say the big comic book movie curve started with Marvel in the 2000s, especially since they released Blade, X-Men, Spider-Man, seemingly back-to-back. But I would argue that in 1979, this all started with the first Superman film starring Christopher Reeves. For a very long time there, with the Superman films and then the Michael Keaton Batman, DC was on top of the comic book movie world for a very long time.
Very long time, yeah. I mean, that
But they released shitty movies though.
I
Do we have to go there?
don't know. That's how people get viewed in a group discussion, yo, when you talk about Michael Keaton. Who's Beetlejuice?
Michael Keaton was
Beetlejuice, y'all.
Beetlejuice. He was Mr. Mom too.
Alright. Y'all had Dolph Lundgren play the Punisher though.
Yeah, y'all didn't have Ivan Drago as
The Punisher was a good movie. If he had a skull in his shirt, it would have been a totally different movie.
That's how you really feel. Oh my god, can we
If he
take
had a
the camera
skull
off
in
this
his
guy?
shirt,
He killed Apollo Creed!
Yes, he did.
if he had a skull in his shirt, it would have been a total different movie. He had the skull knife. He had the skull knife. He had all the weapons. He wore all black. They didn't put a skull in his
Did he
shirt.
have the Punisher van?
He had a Punisher motorcycle.
He had a motorcycle.
Did he have the Punisher van?
He had a motorcycle.
Punisher starring Dolph Lundgren next to the original Fantastic Four movie and next to the original Captain America movie are probably a trinity of the worst films I've ever seen in my existence.
But they waited to release the original Captain America and Fantastic Four films after the better ones came out.
I've seen the original. I've seen the original ones back in the day.
You know, I am interested to hear, Jerry, by the way, welcome on. I actually want to know, what is your favorite DC movie?
I'm gonna be surprised and be Flashpoint, which just came out.
Flashpoint?
Yeah.
So you're talking more animation?
Yeah.
Nah, I think we all can agree here at the table that when it comes to animation, DC just kills Marvel.
It does. It does.
And it wasn't always so, because there was a large chunk of time through 06 to 08 where Marvel was killing it in the comic book cartoon movies.
Not really.
Their animated cartoons, Planet Hulk was incredible.
Planet Hulk,
their Iron Man cartoons.
The Avengers movies were really disappointing, honestly.
Yeah.
The first one was good. The second one
The
was
second one was very. I hated Iron Man voice. Iron Man voice is what turned me off. Secondly, the Doctor Strange movie didn't really do nothing for me, honestly.
It was cool because it made Doctor Strange. It was a different type of Doctor Strange.
It was. It was something different.
But honest to God, I had to let my DC comic muscle flex when I say I haven't seen a cartoon movie better than Mask of the Phantasm yet.
No, that was like the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
Like I remember going to the movie theater like, oh, blood. Like Batman bleeding, and I thought it was cool. Like one of the best scenes of the movie is when Bruce is first becoming Batman. He fights the thugs and he jumps on a motorcycle. And the scene where he jumps on a motorcycle and punches the guy in the face, and he's like ready to fight the other guys. And then he turns around and the girl looks at him. He's like, oh, I can't do all that. And then the dude just cracked him in the face with a chain. Then that's when I realized like Batman. He's like, oh, I can't let him know I'm Batman. And falls to the ground. That's like one of the coolest parts of the movie.
One of my personal favorite animated movies from DC is Green Lantern First Flight. And the reason I love Green Lantern First Flight is probably because the Green Lantern movie was so horrible. And after I watched the Green Lantern movie, then we watched First Flight, I said, why didn't they just take this movie and make it live action?
In the wrestling business, they have this thing called no selling, where someone will take a move, and they'll pretend they didn't take it. I'm gonna no sell the Green Lantern film. There wasn't one. I only acknowledge First Flight. That's
Just
and,
like
and Jade.
Well, then if you do that, I'm gonna no sell Wolverine Origins.
I don't know.
So does Fox.
We want the women's input, Allie. We want the women's input.
I'm sorry.
Well, animation or movies in general?
In general.
Any medium.
I don't know. Like, I'm usually a Marvel fan, but I really did appreciate, The Dark Knight Rises, especially. I'm getting into DC more now that I'm reading it, so now I can better appreciate the movies and starting to see more. And I really liked the recent Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say.
I liked it. It was pretty good.
I actually just saw that just yesterday. It was really good.
You saw it really, right?
It is worth its money.
It's a little predictable, but I liked it though.
Well, I mean, let's all be honest here. The ending credits is what makes it the best.
Yes.
Even though you kind of just say at the end, like, so
And
we're
there's
just
spoilers.
going to... No. Everybody's seen them on YouTube. It's not even no such thing. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw it.
Everybody. Let's talk about this scene right now because I killed my head thinking about it. So Fox came out and said, you know what? Wolverine's the start of a new continuity. The other movies doesn't matter. But hold up, though. Wolverine still is surprised that Professor X is still alive, even though he evaporated in the third.
And that whole Jean Grey thing.
Yeah, and it's like, so...
And that's what that movie flipped between is Jean Grey.
I really
and
hope Days of Future Past fits that continuity. I think it will. I think it actually
I think it'll go above that.
I want to go back into movies of the '90s and something that, because there's been a lot of arguments recently with the new Batman films and done to the old Batman films. A friend of mine said, the old Batman films seem like cartoon movies compared to the new Batman films. But there's a certain respect I have for the character structure of all of them except for Batman and Robin.
I guarantee.
I really do think
Man, I got
Danny
3 words.
DeVito as the Penguin is some of the best casting I've ever seen.
Yes.
No,
Michelle
Batman
Pfeiffer
Returns
as
is still
Catwoman.
The greatest Batman
And
movie.
I honestly think, even if, because a lot of people say he made the movie, which is the same argument they make for Heath Ledger as the Joker. I really think, even though Jim Carrey kind of is Batman Forever, I think Batman Forever is one of the best Batman films simply because his work as the Riddler will be untouched.
Yes.
Well, listen, man, I got
Untouched.
5 words for you. Ice to meet you, Batman. I mean, come on, Schwarzenegger. We're almost there.
Amen.
Oh,
That's because Joel Schumacher
Yeah,
is evil.
Yes.
The designs, the toy designs for the movie were released before the script was, so everything he was doing was based off of toy designs. He's on set yelling to the actors, "Don't take this seriously. Treat it like a cartoon."
I will.
And-
I will say this though about Batman and Robin. George Clooney, best Bruce Wayne ever. George Clooney's the man. I like him.
I can argue.
I think
Best
Val Kilmer
Bruce
was
Wayne, not the best Batman. Val Kilmer?
I thought Val Kilmer was a good.
Come on, George Clooney is Bruce Wayne. Come on.
George Clooney is probably as pretty as women think Bruce Wayne should be. He's a good actor, but that movie didn't bring it out. Val Kilmer was dark and conflicted.
First of all,
Just like
I
you-
love how George Clooney did not get angry once in that whole movie, and people noticed that.
Yeah, just like he said,
Just like-
they told him not to take it
Even when he was
seriously,
talking
he
trash to
took it
Freeze, yeah, Freeze. Yeah. I'm like,
But
okay.
in the late 90s, or like let's say 99 going to 2000, they released X-Men, which Marvel did. They released X-Men, which was okay.
And that was kind of groundbreaking. That was
Exactly.
the
It
concept.
actually
It's starting
And the only reason I say it's okay is because we've seen the sequels, like Part 2 and First Class, and we've seen how better the series has become over time. But at the time, when X-Men 1 came out, it was groundbreaking. It was good.
It was.
And-
But I still have the famous question: what happened to Halle Berry Aston after the first movie?
I tell you what
I
happened.
don't feel like they put much focus on any of the main actors because they kept switching between. I mean, really, Wolverine and Professor X.
It's just
Rogue, I mean,
amazing to me
that's
how in the first X-Men movie, Sabretooth is like a just like a henchman and doesn't say crap, but then in Origins he's Lee Scrabble talking.
And that's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about the different franchises because it's Marvel Fox and then it's Marvel Studios.
And then it's
Marvel Fox, they don't care.
And it's Sony.
And Sony, Marvel.
Sony, you can't forget about Spider-Man.
They don't care. Like that studio doesn't care about continuity. They don't care about. They really don't care
And
about fans.
that's
They give you a
almost-
little bit of fan service, but they don't give you a lot.
That's almost to their benefit because they're there to make movies, not make the fans happy. And I know a lot of people do have a lot of quarrels about like say the Amazing Spider-Man which Sony just did, about how he's more likable as Peter Parker's more likable. He's skateboarding. He's a normal kid.
Oh, he's a hipster.
He's
But
such a hipster.
I didn't have a problem.
you know what? I did not have a problem with that because it's about.
It was a good movie. It was not Peter Parker.
I thought it was like Peter Parker.
Let me explain how it was not a good movie. How it was not all the way to Amazing Spider-Man was bad. Let me highlight one. I would not have a problem with you not finding Uncle Ben's killer if you didn't spend 45 minutes of the movie looking for him. I mean,
Which is how the
God's
movie right
sake,
there. Yes.
Tobey Maguire found out that his uncle was dead. 5 minutes later in film time, that guy who did it was dead. In part 3, when he found out he didn't do it, he spends another 20 minutes in a room listening to a radio, then the guy's dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's how serious his Uncle Ben was to him. 45 minutes of the movie. Oh, you don't got that tattoo. Oh, I'm in a wrestling ring. Mask, Spider-Man. What?
Yes.
Oh, Officer Stacy. There's an 8-foot lizard downtown turning people into lizards. Let's go after Spider-Man. Priorities.
Really?
Priorities. Oh, don't date my daughter, Spider-Man. Your life is too dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna promise that to you, dead guy. End of the movie. Promises are meant to be broken. Whoa. Spider-Man, you honorable human being, you're breaking a promise to a dead policeman? No.
Let's not even forget the fact that he made her suffer his girlfriend's death all by herself.
Oh my God.
And they had the nerve to say, yo, promises meant to be broken.
And
Like he's slick.
I'm glad about that second movie is that I felt like they were trying to cram too much in there. And I'm so glad they got rid of the role of Mary Jane for the second movie.
Well, they got rid of her because of some bullshit.
Well, yes, but they're able to focus more on the character.
Oh, sorry.
And, I think they'll be able to focus a little bit more on that aftermath relationship.
I'm looking forward to Gwen Stacy's.
Mary Jane was a part of the original franchise that I loved. I thought Mary Jane was like helped his character arc.
I never liked her as Mary Jane.
As a bird.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of been more of a Gwen Stacy fan myself.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
a Gwen
I just want to
Stacy
see
fan.
I just want to see how to do it. I'm excited.
You want to see if the Green Goblin killed her.
Well, if he leads to her death.
I hope everyone got that. Allie is sick. Allie is sick. She's going to see the Spider-Man for death. I don't know.
No, you should start. If you're gonna start the beginning. Don't pretend like she never existed.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's part of character development.
So let's go back to the Peter Parker thing. Like how you say
He was too cool for school, man.
He wasn't cool. They were still making fun of him.
That doesn't. No,
He was still getting bullied. He got his ass handed.
I don't know, yo. Because when he played basketball, yo, he was like Kobe out
But they
there.
got powers then.
Okay.
Before that, he wasn't doing that.
Let's say what I talk about is actors crossovers. And when I say that is the guy who played Johnny Storm now playing Captain America. The same guy who played Green Lantern is playing Deadpool.
We still don't know that yet.
Storm and Wonder Woman, and Storm and Catwoman. How do y'all feel about those?
It doesn't bother
It depends on
me.
the actor. Because as I'm sure now, like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's so and so.
I think it depends on the
I think
actor.
a lot of people don't even try to remember that Halle Berry was Catwoman, so it's okay.
Yeah,
That's because Catwoman
And
is
you
so
know,
bad.
and you know, originally that's one of the reasons her accent dropped, because she wasn't going to do X-Men 3 because she thought the Catwoman franchise was about to kick off.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
And it didn't.
Now, you see, this is how I feel about Chris Evans. Is I was very skeptical because I think the first role I did see him in was Fantastic Four. And so that goofy, kind of stupid, arrogant Johnny Storm is what I was thinking of. But then the responsible Captain America is not what I saw him doing. But he proved to me that I honestly feel that he is a better...
Chris Evans is a good actor.
He's a good actor, and it's funny because the role they still say to the day that got him this role is the role on Scott Pilgrim that he played. They said once he did that role on Scott Pilgrim, they was like, okay.
Yeah, Lucas Lee was awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my God. You're about to hear 2 clicks. One is me hanging up the phone, the next is me pulling the trigger. I was about to stop filming, like, whoa, they're going hard in this movie.
First of all, all topics, Scott Pilgrim is another great movie. Go watch it.
Yes. How do y'all feel about the 3 Hulks?
Let's pretend the first one never happened.
Let's get this straight right now. There's 2 Hulks and a very good Bruce Banner.
I walked out the theater.
Avengers Hulk, that's all I want to see. That's all I want.
So Mark Ruffalo is the only one who does it for you. You didn't like...
No, you know what?
You didn't like Ed Norton at all.
I love Ed Norton, but I feel like But I really do feel like Mark Ruffalo is Bruce Banner more than he is Hulk. Hulk is portrayed by CG.
Fair enough.
Is by by CG.
But
so.
who really cares about Banner? We want Hulk.
I care about Banner.
Nobody wants to see. So you mean to tell me that they did a whole movie about Bruce Banner? Let's call the movie Bruce Banner. People want to be like, yeah, I want to see what Bruce Banner is. We want to see Hulk.
Most of the Avengers film is let's see what Bruce Banner's doing.
We want to see Hulk smash. It's about him struggling for his humanity and trying to like.
At the end of Iron Man 3, do you see the Hulk? No. Bruce Banner, and it made the scene because it's not some action secret about the next movie. It's him sitting here like, hey,
like I said,
I'm
not that kind of doctor.
I'm not that type of doctor. No, but I was upset at first when I heard Edward Norton wasn't going to be playing the Hulk in the Avengers film. It made me very upset because I was connected to Edward Norton. Because anything that can save me from the Eric Banner Hulk was like, oh God. But once I saw Mark Ruffalo play Bruce Banner and the Hulk in the new film, I realized, oh, this is exactly what we needed. It's a very good actor to play the Hulk, which you usually don't get very often. A good actor and a good role. Because I feel like if you go like to Blade, you got certain people, this is the role. Like, I'm sorry, I love Wesley Snipes. You know, I like Demolition Man, I like Past 57, but Blade is it for him. For me, I'm like, that guy is Blade.
You saw him in jail. Okay. He was in jail saying, yo, let's make Blade 4.
Exactly.
Now, before we run out of time, I do want to pose this question. Whether it be animated film or whether it be a live action film, going down the line, one person at a time, what film would you want to see that they have not talked about?
Ooh.
You know, we'll start it off with you.
Well, they have not talked about it, we haven't talked about it. Because if we haven't talked about it yet, I'm still waiting to see, because Man of Steel was amazing. I'm waiting to see the Batman Superman movie ridiculously, and Days of Future Past. But film that they have not talked about that I would like to see them do, Black Panther.
Okay. And Willie?
I would say Black Panther to see how they gonna do it.
Black Panther.
He's one of my favorite characters. So.
It would be a little bit out there, but now that we have Guardians of the Galaxy, I would like to see a Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts. I feel like that would be fun.
Okay. That's real.
A villain-centric movie.
A villain-centric movie. Something to make
that's something different.
Anti-hero story.
Now, I want to see something that I feel like can be really successful just because there's so much art for it online. I want to see Brad Bird, Teen Titans, CGI, just like The Incredibles. Would make billions. Brad Bird, dudes from The Incredibles, Teen Titans, same. Come on.
Brad Bird, he's an awesome director.
We getting money. If Brad Bird does that, we getting money. We getting money. What about you, Al?
I want Aquaman.
Aquaman.
New 52 Aquaman.
New 52 Aquaman. Comic relief Aquaman.
Well, in that case, why don't we do a live-action Flash movie?
Yeah, I want that too.
I'm about to throw something out there y'all ain't ready for. I want a Nightwing film.
You know what? While we at it, I want a Legionnaires movie.
Give us the Legion of Doom movie.
Yeah, man.
Whoa. I not want to see a movie about 2 tag team wrestlers. What? Who wants to see that?
All right.
Also, before we run out, I'd like to say 2 video games we should highlight in this meeting. For me personally, Marvel-wise, Hulk Ultimate Destruction did it for me, and of course, DC Injustice. Yes!
DC Injustice, best fighting game out there using comic book characters. And I mean better than Marvel vs. Capcom, guys, so come at me, bro.
Well, I love Deadpool and Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, and I do say I did actually kind of like, I may be the only one here, but I really like DC vs. Mortal Kombat.
That was fun. That was fun.
Say what you want about 90s Batman films, but guess what? They had Seal on their soundtrack.
Oh my God, you like that game?
I love that game.
Batman Forever, Bone Thugs and Harmony on the soundtrack, yo. R. Kelly riding through Gotham City in the Blackmobile, yo, singing.
Let me tell you something. They used the same Smashing Pumpkin song for Batman movie and for Watchmen. I want justice.
And I can't even lie to y'all guys.
They slowed it down.
All right, guys.
Before we get too carried away, guys, we gotta get out of here, y'all. Yeah. So just remember, all the crazy stuff y'all heard, just remember, that's